Hello everyone and welcome in a new video. In this video number 44 about Ansible, let me show you how to use the Docker Compose module to manage our Docker Compose on our target server. If you want, you can subscribe to my channel to not miss the next video. If you want, you can find some documentation about this module. And what is the purpose of this module? Of course, this is how to manage Docker Compose, how to manage services in our Docker Compose, how to build a Docker file, etc. Some parameters about this module. The first parameter, build, to add a build step in our task to build a Docker image with a specific Docker file. Maybe you can add in the build parameter the path about this Docker file. Definition. If you want, you have two modes in this Docker Compose module. You can use a specific Docker Compose.yml file, or if you want, you can use definition parameter to define the content of this Docker Compose in this section. Dependencies, to create a dependency with another service. If you want, if you have a specific service named app, but you need to have a database, for example, you can add this dependency here. Docker host to specify the Docker socket to use. Unix or SSH or TCP connection. Some other parameter files to, if you have many file, many Docker Compose file, you can add the list here. No cache to build an image without use the Docker cache and rebuild all step in your build. The pool, to pull all images before to start your Docker Compose run. Remove images to clean your images. And remove orphans if you want to remove all containers not managed by Docker Compose and this task. Remove volumes to remove all volumes, or scale if you want to add a scale value to create many instances about your service. And you have services or state. This is the same parameter if you want to have a service present or stopped, or maybe you want to restart it. So let me show you some example. In our right terminal, we have a Docker PS, and we can remove. Maybe we can remove this container with a -f. Okay, and now what we want to do, we have our Ansible here, Ansible directory with our Ansible server with a specific inventory where we have only one target server, defense 2, okay, and we have a source directory for our app with a Docker file, a simple script, a Python script, and a Docker Compose, and some recommends for our app, Python app. And we can just check if we can ping with Ansible our target server, and to do it we use Ansible CLI. Okay, we have a ping pong. Okay, and now we can edit a playbook file, playbook.yml, and we can add a name for our playbook, my first playbook for Docker Compose, for example, Compose, and which target. In our case, we have only one target server, but we can use the whole group. and tasks. Okay, and in our first example, what we want to do, so we can copy all lines. We can copy the content of our app directory, our source app directory. We can remove Docker Compose to copy all files, and we copy it in /tmp. So in our home directory, we have a /tmp directory. Okay, and we want to use, of course, a second task with our Docker Compose module. We define a project, a source project, okay, in /tmp, and Ansible go into this directory to run a Docker Compose. And to do it, we use Ansible playbook CLI -i and specify my inventory and my playbook file. Okay, we can run it. Ansible copy all files. If I go in /tmp, we have our Docker file. Okay, maybe I can check. Oh yes, it's okay. And now if we go on our target server and we run a docker ps command, what we have our first service. This is just an Nginx, but it's okay. The second example, what we can do, yes, we can just, if you want, you can collect many information about your Docker Compose, and to do it, of course, we can use register, and we can create a new variable, name, for example, Docker Compose, and to see the content of this variable, we can use a debug, so with debug module, and we want to print the content of this variable. Okay, so we can run it again, and now what we have, we can see many information about our run. So we have the list of our service. For example, we have our service named app, and what the name of this service /tmp app1, the command line of our container, the image of this container, an Nginx with a latest tag, and some element about it, and of course we have our IP address. Good. And now another example. For example, if you want, you can scale up. We can scale up. So maybe we can check our Docker Compose. So yes, it's okay. So if you want, you can scale up. Here you can remove the debug. It's okay now. And we can use scale parameter. Be careful, this is a dictionary. For each service you can add a scale number and you can run it. And now what we have now 4 instances about our Nginx. Okay, good. And now we can of course we can remove our instances, and to do it we can use a state and we set it to absent. Okay, absent, and we run it again. And now if we check with docker ps, we have no container. Good. Another example, if you want, you can use definition here, and in definition we can set the content of our Docker Compose. So to do it, we use we can remove the state, and we want to use definition parameter. We need to set, like a Docker Compose, need to set the version of it, and services, the line, we want to have a service named app, and in this app we want to run an Nginx with the latest version. We run it again, and if we check, we need to add the project name. So here, project name, my Nginx, for example. And if we run it again, we can check we have a new container with a specific project named my Nginx. So the last example, maybe you want to use definition and you want to build your specific images. So to do it, I use playbook.yml, and I want to yes, I remove the image to use the build, and the build directory is tmp/. I think it's okay, and maybe we want to expose the app port. This is 8080 on port 8080. It's okay. Maybe we can remove docker ps. No, it's okay, I think. Run, and what we have, oh, maybe just an, yes, path. We can change, for example, here we can change the app directory for /tmp with app here, and yes, we need to change the project name, my app, and run it again. It seems to be okay, and if we check with docker ps, it's okay. We have two containers and we have my app, and if I run a curl on our local host on port 8080, what we have a response about our API. That's all for today. Thank you for following this video. If you want, you can subscribe to my channel to not miss the next video, and I say goodbye. Bye.